I did not know that.
Welcome to another episode of I Did Not Know That. Thanks for stopping by. Ever wonder about something? Maybe you'll find it here. Check out all the other videos on this channel and remember to like and subscribe. It seems like the Flintstones have always been with us. But of course that's not so. The Flintstones TV show, created by Bill Hanna and Joe Barbera, first aired in September of 1960, and it was the first ever primetime cartoon. The inspiration for the cartoon came from the popular program called The Honeymooners, starring Jackie Gleason. Gleason wasn't too happy about the copycat cartoon, and he intended to sue. But his agent asked him, "Do you really want to be known as the man who killed the Flintstones?" So Gleason decided against it. The debut of the Flintstones in prime time got terrible reviews by TV critics. The New York Times referred to it as an inked disaster. Fortunately, America ignored all those critics and loved the show. After a couple seasons, Hanna and Barbera thought they needed to spice it up a bit and decided to give Fred and Wilma not only a baby, but to give them twins. But they changed their mind because twins would require double the work and the expense. After agreeing on that, they intended on adding a boy who would be, in Barbera's own words, a chip off the old Fred. So they had 200 of their artists start working on drawings of babies. The plan was that the baby would be a blonde-haired boy, but then Ideal Toys entered the picture. They suggested that they would sell a lot more merchandise if that new baby was a girl. Of course, they wanted to see an increase in ratings, but a girl doll could produce huge sales.
You what?
It seems a bit ridiculous, but the change from a boy to a girl cartoon freaked out the bigwigs from Screen Gems and ABC TV. So much so that 31 executives flew out to Hollywood from New York for a big powwow to discuss the change. "We convinced them that the change wasn't the end of the world," said Barbera with a smile on his face in a 1963 interview. After looking at thousands of drawings of babies, Barbera said they all fell in love with a little girl with a bone in her hair. Before we go any further, as I researched this story, I found something else that really surprised me. Before the cartoon ever aired, the original concept for the show was that Fred and Wilma were parents of a son. How do we know this? Golden Books rushed out a children's book before the first episode of the Flintstones premiered on television based on drawings and the script they read. In the book, Fred and Wilma have a son named Fred Jr. He also had a pet brontosaurus named Harvey. There doesn't seem to be any more information out there on why the character of Fred Jr. was cut. Can you imagine how upset Golden Books probably was when they were told, I guess there will be no Fred Jr. after all, after printing all those books. So, the arrival of Pebbles in the episode called The Blessed Event was a big deal. The very same day the episode aired, there were already ads for a Pebbles doll in the newspapers. Someone joked that Pebbles' first words were, "Buy me." The TV show also had a Pebbles weight guessing contest, and 500,000 viewers entered. The first viewer to correctly name the weight won $2,000 and a trip around the world for two. The winner was announced live on television by Hanna and Barbera on the next week's program. The decision to have Pebbles be a girl proved to be a very wise one. In 1963, they sold over 1 million Pebbles dolls at $5.98 a doll. That may not sound like a lot now, but for some perspective, $5.98 in 1963 is equal to about $51 today. And that's not even counting all the other Pebbles items they sold, like paper dolls, coloring books, and more. Of course, not long after this, they did bring a baby boy on the show named Bam Bam. But that was in the Rubble family, and it didn't come close to matching all the excitement over Pebbles. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Who knew there was such a story behind one cartoon character? Thanks for watching.
Ba-da-da.
da da da